Cool deal. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 73 of the Fat Cats podcast. I know Cam did the intro last week, and I am back to do the intro this week. And wanted to start out by saying, one, so good to be back. Favorite hour of the week, the Fat Cats. We are back. And two, also wanted to say, Cam, happy anniversary. Today marks a huge milestone in Fat Cats history. 18 months ago today, we posted episode number 1 of the Fat Cats podcast. Couldn't tell you what we were talking about. I think we were talking about a lot of NBA basketball. It was April 23rd of
I remember.
2023.
I remember. It was well, first of all, I was doing it with my AirPods instead of microphone, and my AirPods went out for half the episode.
Yep, I remember
Um,
that. I would like to go back. I haven't gone back and actually listened to that episode. I'd like to, but yeah, man.
well,
So we've come a long way in the podcast, or we've come a long way in the podcast world. Specifically, Cam, I want to ask you, in the last 18 months, where do you think that you have grown the most as a Fat Cats co-host on both YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music
yeah.
or Apple Podcast?
Well, I do. I listen to the first episode quite frequently because when I get down in the dumpster, I think like I had a bad episode. I just go listen to that, and it cheers me up because I was like, man, I used to be bad.
Okay.
I think our transitions is the biggest thing.
Transitions.
You listen to the first episode, we go from NBA to NFL, back to NBA to college basketball
Yeah.
to UFC. I think we're a lot better about that. And I just think the confidence and knowing what we're talking about, knowing what's going to happen, and just having fun. We were
Yeah.
very tight at the beginning. We wanted to be very professional. We wanted to act like we were on ESPN, and now I think we're ourselves when we get on.
That would be my biggest feedback is we let loose. And
Yeah.
people say, usually people to let loose, they got to go to a bar and drink 3 or 4 beers, and then they're like, okay, I'm feeling good. Me and Cam are always feeling good.
Yeah.
We come out on 10. We don't have to drink some liquid courage and disturb the chemical imbalance in our body to get to 10. That's my feedback from it. But Cam, 18 months, time flies. I know we've both grown professionally, podcast professionally, and personally in those 18 months. So Cam, episode 73, man, let's talk. We got a realm of information to go over today. I know we were talking about, you said transitions. We're going to have a lot of transitions today, Cam. A lot of topics to go over. So Cam, kick us off.
Yeah. Well, before we get into it, start everything. Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. If you're here, you know that. Be a friend, tell a friend. Like, subscribe, comment, tell us what you like, what you don't like. Instagram and TikTok at Fat Cats Pod.
Yeah. And I will say, I wanted to add to that too. We take time out of our week to do this every week, and we would love some support. Specifically, right now, our subscriber numbers are above our views on every episode. So just, go, even if you watch it for 5 minutes, you just listen to me ramble for 60 seconds on the intro, and then Cam introduce the agenda of the day, and then you cut it off. That's fine. You're missing the meat and potatoes of the episode, but you're giving us a view. So give us a favor, share with a friend, tell a friend. If you're listening at work, tell your coworkers, like, hey, look what they said on the Fat Cats podcast, 18-month anniversary, or listen to this dumb thing that Cam said about Kentucky, or listen to Ward talk about how good State is, even though they really suck. Like, all publicity is good publicity. So we love the support.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys. I do want to remind everybody on our Fat Cat shop, links in both of our bios and the show's bio. We're still doing the all of our proceeds going to Western North Carolina to help out. So that's a great way to help out and get some Fat Cats gear. We've had
anybody purchase anything.
Yeah, I think we're up to about. I think we've sent yesterday we got up to $275 that we sent to Western North Carolina flood relief or hurricane relief. So we've got $275 of business on the shop. So keep that going, guys.
Nice. Okay.
That way. And we appreciate all you guys. But today, start off every show, first favorite and forgotten, empty plate, full stomach. We do have a question of the week this week, Ward. I came
empty
up with
plate, full stomach, Cam. I like it.
I flipped it, flip-flop.
I'm kidding with you.
We got UFC talk. We got some fantasy football talk. Real quick on the World Series, and then we've got a little bit of NBA, and then the rest, the lion's share will be football. per usual this time of the year. So, Ward, as we kick off episode 73, first favorite and forgotten. Go ahead and kick us off, man.
Cool. I don't know why. Oh, it says right here, just bored for a second. Sorry, I got distracted. All right. First favorite forgotten. Cam, first 73 that came to mind was Trent Scott, offensive guard, backup offensive guard on the Washington Commanders offensive line. I don't know. See him every Sunday. So Trent Scott, first 73 came to mind.
Yeah, man. Hey, we got 7 more episodes of Purgatory, and then we get back to
there
the
we
fun.
go. Then we get back to the skill players.
I do want to tell everybody when we get to 100, we're restarting. So we're going double zeros and zeros for number 100 back to 1. So we're gonna have to go back and do some research to make sure we don't have any repeats, Ward. But once we get to the 170s, we might
Yeah,
first favorite.
I did not know we were restarting, but we'll talk it, Cam.
The first guy that came to mind for me, Ward, Dennis Rodman when he played for the Lakers, wore 73.
Yeah.
And I know you love this. He is the only player in NBA and ABA history to wear the jersey number 73.
I like it, Cam. Where'd you find that fact at?
Basketball Reference. I had to make sure.
Love it, Cam. Love it. So, hey, favorite 73 to come to mind, Cam. This guy, you probably don't like this guy that much. I didn't have to play him that much. You had to play him twice a year. But probably the best offensive lineman to ever come through Cleveland, Ohio, by the name of Joe Thomas. He also weighs about as much as me now. He probably weighs close to 200 pounds. If you look at him, you think he's a running back. But if you go back and pull up film on him, he was a big offensive lineman. So, Joe Thomas, 73, favorite.
Yeah, he was awesome. I hated having to watch him twice a year against the Steelers. I will say, though, James Harrison gave him a run for his money in a lot of those matchups. So, Joe Thomas was an incredible football player. My favorite number 73, keeping it with the offensive line, Ramon Foster, played guard on the Killer Bees era Steelers. So when Ben, Le'Veon, and AB were there, he played left guard. He was the king of the silent count award. When you saw his big tail, he'd turn around and look back at Ben and hit the center, hit Pouncey to get the silent snap. So I always remember Ramon Foster for being one of the first guys to do the silent count.
I like it, Cam. I like it, brother. Cool. Forgotten 73, Cam. You remember a guy by the name of Cordell Patterson, fantasy legend in 2021?
Yeah, he plays for the Steelers right now.
Didn't know that. I remember I watched him set an Atlanta Falcons record against the Washington football team at that time in Atlanta, first time in Atlanta. He returned 2 kicks back in one game. But anyway, or not 2 kicks back. He returned 2 kicks back that season, and he broke the record for the franchise. But anyway, on the 2022 top 100 players list, Cordell Patterson was player number 73. Probably the biggest fall off of a player ranked on that list to now is Cordell Patterson. But yeah, Cordell Patterson, Cam.
Hey, I remember a time where J.K. Dobbins got on that top 100 list. Carlos Hyde was on that list once upon a time. So yeah, man, that top 100 list is funny. My forgotten is John Schlarman. He played guard for the Kentucky Wildcats. He's number 73, and then he was the offensive line coach throughout the whole Stoops era. He passed away in 2020. One of the best offensive line coaches in the history of college football. And now, to commemorate John Schlarman, the best offensive lineman for Kentucky, wears 73. So John Schlarman, an absolute royalty when it comes to Kentucky football. So rest in peace to him, and one of the best to ever do it.
There you go, Cam.
Moving on, full plate, empty stomach. Ward, I've got a lot of full plates this week. I think I got 3 to my 1 empty stomach, but I'm going to go ahead and let you kick it off, man.
Cool. Hey, first full plate for me, Cam, is Cam Ward. I know we're having a Heisman discussion on this podcast today. I don't know if Cam Ward's name is in there, but I think it needs to be in there. I don't know if you ever watched this guy play, Cam. You know, I am not a big Miami fan, but he just sits back there. He just, you know, he'll be under center, he'll be in shotgun. He just looks so composed at all times. And he had another crazy stat line this weekend. I think he threw for 320 yards and 4 touchdowns or something like that in a very offensive battle game against Louisville. I don't know if you watched that game or not. But Cam Ward, man, he's a really cool quarterback to watch. And I can't think of a good quarterback out of Miami that's come out, or a good quarterback out of Miami it's been a while. So Cam Ward.
Yeah, Cam Ward is fun to watch if you haven't watched him. The word I like to use is nonchalant. Like he just looks like he doesn't have a care in the world back there, and then he makes the unbelievable plays look pedestrian. Like it's
Yeah.
just normal to him. So Cam Ward is a very
Yeah.
fun watch if you haven't got the chance to. Keeping with quarterbacks, where my first full play is going to Cole Gonzalez and the whole WCU football team. WCU is first in the SoCon right now. Cole Gonzalez broke the SoCon
Yeah.
record for most passing yards in a football game, and the Western Carolina offense broke the SoCon record for most offensive yards in a game with 801 yards. So
Mhm.
shout out to the Western Carolina Academy.
Hey, and you got to remember who this was against too. This was against Furman. Furman was a team that was in the FCS semi-championship last year, lost to South Dakota State. This is a good a high-quality football team.
Yeah.
You know, this is they and we put a hurting on them. I think we hung 55 points, 60 points on them, something like that. So the boys were buzzing out in Coley. That's all I got to say. But Cam transitioning, second full plate for me. You know, as much as I love Western Carolina, I love my Wolfpack as well. Been a rough start for the Wolfpack. And the boys really came out this weekend, started slow, finished strong. We were able to come out down 13 we were down by 13 points coming into the fourth quarter. Defense steps up. CJ Bailey steps up. We score 14 unanswered and end up winning the game, winning an ACC road game at California, 700 miles away, or 1,700 miles away. I'm sorry. Big win for the Wolfpack. I know it's hard to be proud of some factors on this team right now, but good to see them come back with a freshman quarterback come back and win that game.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't think I'll ever get used to the words North Carolina State and Cal Berkeley playing in
Yeah,
a
in an ACC game in California too.
It's
That's the
crazy.
thing.
It's crazy. This sport is off the rails
Yeah,
right
and
now.
Cal Berkeley has not won a game in the ACC yet. If that tells you anything. So
Crazy. My second full plate is going to my co-host Ward Sewell. Man, if you haven't seen on Snapchat, Ward Sewell hit 3 plates on bench a couple days ago, so he's up to 315. Man, you see those guns popping through
go,
the camera?
baby.
Yeah, man. Congrats on 315. That's a big milestone. Not you're. Let's be honest. You're probably in the top, 5% of the world in bench press now.
That mother effort was heavy, Cam. Just say that. I appreciate it. I'm nowhere close to your bench yet. Maybe one day I'll be near your bench. You got to save some weight for the rest of us. Interesting story about Cam. And speaking of bench press, me and my 3 roommates went to the gym in college. Y'all have heard me tell this story at one point. But me and my 3 roommates go to the gym in college one day. It's 2:00 on a Friday afternoon. And, I live with Cam, big guy. G. Hartgrove, another big guy. James Fry, another big guy. These guys are, we're having a bench off. I'm like, let's go. I'm the 200-pound guy in the house. I'm like, I think I'll do all right. I think I threw up 275, and I'm like, dude, I'm feeling good. I watched Cam get up and start throwing 275 up in the air and catching it. Then I watched G, and they all got the 3 plates, and then it's like the bench competition stopped after they all rep 3 plates a couple times. So yeah, I lived with the 3 strongest guys in college, and couldn't have asked for any better roommates. So
Yeah, that was a fun
Cam,
time.
you motivated me to throw 3
Yeah.
plates up.
Well, I remember me and Fry got to the point, when the boys are in the weight room, it's all competition. And me and Fry got to the point, I think we both had like 385 on the bar. And neither one of us were going to let the other one outdo us. And we both got 385 to about 2 inches off our chest. And we got off the bench and we looked at each other. We're like, let's call it a day right
Yeah, and y'all gotta remember that's not a number. 385 pounds. That is a lot of weight. That is 330 or 345s on each side, a 25 as well as a 10 on each side, ladies and gentlemen. That's a lot of damn weight. That's all I gotta say. So Cam, kudos to you, brother.
Appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Oh, my turn. I'm sorry. Jumping into empty stomach. My first empty stomach is going to be Cam. I know we're going to get into it. What's going on in San Francisco?
Yeah.
A lot of stuff going on in San. I don't know if there's something in the air. The whole team's hurt. I know we haven't talked. We used to talk Brandon Ayuk a lot on this podcast. They gave him all that money, man, and he must have went and bought himself a Tempur-Pedic, he's sleeping good at night because his ass ain't doing nothing on the field. I can tell you that. I know he's hurt. I hope he gets better. But whole 49ers, dude, it's like Brock Purdy, too. I'm sitting here arguing Brock Purdy being one of the best quarterbacks in the league, being the next big time, highest paid quarterback. He is playing like shit right now. So, and they are in the NFC. We've never been a playoff team where we got to look at, we got to look outside of the division a little bit, but I don't know what's going on with the 49ers game. So I'm giving them an empty stomach.
Yeah, I think it did come out Ayuk's out for the year. I think
He
it's
is. He tore his ACL.
so prayers up to him. Once
But he
upon a
played like
time,
shit before he tore his ACL.
he's not been good. Brock Purdy, I saw a quote that was really good. It's like Brock Purdy's really good when you don't ask him to be the best quarterback on the
Yeah,
field.
because now, hey, Brock Purdy don't have any weapons around him now. So let's see what he's all about. He has Trent Williams. And did you see Trent Williams punch that guy from the Chiefs?
I did.
Oh boy.
Hey, old bro from the Chiefs, I bet he hightailed it to
You didn't see him taking his helmet off. I can tell you that. I
the
wouldn't have. I can tell you that.
No, but yeah, Brock Purdy without the Avengers of skill positions around him.
Yeah.
Very, very pedestrian quarterback.
Yeah.
One more full plate for me. I want to shout out my middle school guys, man. We got the Battle of Mint Hill tonight. Right when I get off this episode, I'm going to be driving to Independence's football field. We got Mint Hill versus Northeast. I told Ward outright second place in the conference. Ward, when we took over this program last year, this was a team that had won like 5 games in 6 years. They won 1 game last year, and we've got them up to 5 wins, and we're fighting for a playoff spot. So super proud of these guys and
Yep.
super proud of the staff.
And Cam, congrats to you guys too. And I want to go out and say too, I know you probably have some good luck in Independence. Well, let's hear that record against Independence.
Yeah,
Your record.
4-0.
4-0. Cam Taylor doesn't lose at that field, damn it. So
that's what I said.
Anybody?
Our whole staff is Independence guys. I'm the only Butler guy on the staff, and I've got this extreme confidence all week. And they're like, "What? Like, what's going on?" I said, "Fellas, I've never lost on this field, and I'm not starting."
So, hey, if anybody wants to make, I don't know if they have betting on middle school football. I know you can make NIL off high school athletes now. I don't know if that's made it down to the middle school yet, but if there is, Cam, I'm betting my bottom dollar on you, brother. Go, what's the middle school's name again?
Northeast Eagles.
Go Eagles.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, but yeah, empty stomach for me, last empty stomach. Cam, this is no joking manner. The whole Cleveland Browns fan base. So if anybody was watching the Cleveland Browns game this weekend, obviously there's been a lot of Deshaun Watson is an extremely controversial figure. He hasn't been playing up to his ability. He hasn't been playing up to expectations. The man, Cam, I'm sure you saw the replay. That's bad. He tore his Achilles. He's done. He will not play until probably at least Thanksgiving next year. A torn Achilles, that's the one injury outside of your bone breaking in half. It takes the longest to return to. Ask Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb just broke his leg in half, and obviously he's coming back. But anyway, the fans were booing Cam, the fans, God, I had a little tongue twister. The fans were, one, when they went down, they started booing him. And then 2, when they were carting him off the field, they were cheering, like clapping that he was hurt. Like, that's classless, man. I'm a super fan when it comes to certain things, but injury is something you don't joke around with. So not a good look for Cleveland.
Do you expect anything less from Browns fans, though?
Yeah.
Scum of the earth. That's all. It's scum of the earth. Moving on to my empty stomach. This is kind of a tongue-in-cheek one. DeAndre Hopkins is going to get my empty stomach. He moves on from Will Levis and Mason Rudolph to the quarterback that leads the NFL in interceptions. This guy can't get out of quarterback purgatory. So DeAndre Hopkins going from 2 bum quarterbacks to the guy that leads the league in interceptions.
No shit. And hey, for any of the Highlands Hooligans fantasy league, as soon as I saw at 6:45 this morning, I was at the gym and I saw Ian Rappaport posted there's a trade that could possibly go through waiver claim immediately. And of course, somebody else did it. It processes tonight. So, Cam, I'm sure you already put a waiver claim in, and I can tell Cam my waiver claims because he's at the top of the league. I'm in the middle of the league, so I'm going to get my player below him anyway. So,
anyway. You better wait to post this until after the waivers clear.
They ain't going to listen anyway. They all subscribe. Like I said at the beginning of the show, they all subscribe, but they don't listen for some reason. And if they do, they only listen to the first 5 minutes. Cam, take off.
I believe that wraps up Full Plate Empty Stomach for us. Ward, I did write this question of the week. It's something that was asked to me, so I figured why not put it on the show. If
Oh.
you could add one franchise legend, for you it would be the Redskins or football team or Commanders, and for me, obviously the Steelers. If you could add one franchise legend to the current roster today, who would it be and why?
Are these players that that would best fit just somebody you want to see play again, or players that would best fit in with the team, or either one?
Either or,
Okay.
it's your world.
Cam, do you remember a man that wore number 91, Ryan Kerrigan? He's the all-time leading, he's the all-time sack leader for the Washington Redskins.
I do
He was
remember
my
that.
favorite. Back in the day when they used to have something called Favorite Player Friday on Instagram, I posted his ass every week. He was my favorite player. We don't have any defensive. Our defensive line is struggling a little bit right now. So without a doubt, with not even thinking about it, Ryan Kerrigan, number 91, he's our defensive line coach now. We'd love to suit him back up.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. For me, I had a laundry list. Like, obviously, it'd be awesome to see Mean Joe come back, but you've got Cam in the middle, so maybe not. You'd love to see James Harrison come back. He's my favorite Steeler of all time. But your edge
Yeah.
rushers look great. Rod Woodson, like to the opposite side corner, maybe. But for me, it came down to two guys. Do you want Big Ben back? Prime Big Ben on this team would be awesome to have. Or, with our, obviously, we've talked about it a lot, the wide receiver struggles. You look at Stallworth, but I think for me, you put Prime AB on this football team, and it goes a long way. So I think I'd put Antonio Brown back on this football team.
There's a guy that wore 86 too. That'd be a good one to throw back in there, Cam.
Hines,
He has
Hines
a
would
really
be
cool
great.
last name.
Yeah, Hines Ward would be
Hines
great.
Ward.
Yeah, there's so many guys that you think of, and but I think Antonio Brown, without a
Yeah.
doubt, one of the best receiver, was a one or two ranked receiver in the National Football League for 10 years. So,
Yeah. Speaking of that, really cool to see Trump go to the Steelers game this past
yeah,
weekend. I cannot
yeah.
believe Trump let AB give a speech at his rally, though. AB, if your gears are supposed to go clockwise, his goes counterclockwise. Man, he's not all the way there. And for as big of a swing state as Pennsylvania is, and as bad as the Republicans are fighting to get that state red, AB, I don't know if you let him talk, but he did
Yeah.
good. It seemed like he said, what did he say? He said something. He didn't say CTESPN. What did he say?
I don't remember. I'll be honest, I didn't really pay that much attention to it.
I didn't watch it. I saw the clips.
I know him, and I think Le'Veon Bell spoke as
Maybe
well.
on Bell too.
So funny. It's very funny that those are the two guys that he picked to represent him in Pittsburgh. But
Yeah.
whatever. So Ryan Kerrigan for you, Antonio Brown for
Yeah.
me. Shout out to Trump, man. He's a real yinzer. He had the terrible towel
Dude,
on.
and he posted that picture too, which was awesome.
That was hilarious.
I
It
told
will
you
be
that
one
you're
of-
gonna have to share that when we post this today. If Trump in the Steelers jersey with
It'll
all the
be-
muscles, that was pretty cool, dude.
It'll be on there. But as we move on, real quick, Ward, we got UFC 308 coming up this weekend. We're going to cover the top 3 fights on the card. If you don't like UFC, probably put us on mute for about 45 seconds. So
Yeah.
the main event, Ilya Tapora, the champion, going against the what's the belt called that he has, the baddest
BMF.
the BMF title, Max Holloway. Tapora is a minus 245 favorite. This is Max's probably his last chance to make a title
It
run.
is.
And I know we always talk about this. We love guys and they're at the tail end of their career, and we make picks with our hearts instead of our minds. I'm doing it again. Give me Max Holloway to win this fight.
Cam, I'm so glad you say that because I was literally gonna say the same thing. I watched a video of I've probably seen, when you think about those UFC knockout videos that you've seen, one is obviously Conor McGregor knocking out Jose Aldo, and I think two now is Max Holloway knocking out Justin Gaethje, pointing at the ground. Hard not to like the guy, man. And I've never been that big of a Holloway fan. He has a fan in me now, and you know me, I'm riding with everybody that's on the USA train. Max Holloway is a USA guy, so I'm with you, Cam. USA, baby.
Yeah, I love it. The co-main, a fight that we've been waiting for.
You think they come out like they say and point at the ground right when the bell rings or not?
No, so it's funny. Somebody asked Max Holloway that question, and he said that's not a beginning of the fight deal. That's at the end of the fight. You give a guy a chance to win. He said,
And the cool thing too, this card is at like noon on right or on Saturday.
Yes, it's in Abu Dhabi, so the time zones are all out of whack. But Holloway said they asked him, like, isn't that like a prerequisite for having the BMF title? and he said it's called the baddest MFR title, not the dumbest MFR title. So I thought that was a good quote. But
Yeah.
we moved to the co-main. Like I said, a fight we've been waiting on for what feels like years with
Yeah.
Khamzat Chimaev not being able to get to the States and then having medical issues. Bobby Knuckles, Robert Whitaker taking on Khamzat, Khamzat Chimaev. Chimaev is a minus 245 favorite. Again, I don't want to pick with my heart, but I'll never cheer for Khamzat. So give me Bobby Knuckles by
Yeah.
9.
I'm right with you again, Cam. I can't disagree more. And the reason I'm taking Bobby Knuckles, I'm not even doing it just to pull from my heart. I truly do think he beats Chimaev here. And the reason why is Chimaev has had a lot of medical issues, man. You know, he has had 2 really bad cases of COVID that's really got to him. It's hospitalized him both times. He has a messed up lung. He is struggling to breathe. I don't know if you watched, there was a video of him sparring some guy that looked like me and you, Cam, some average Joe, and his hat came off and he got pissed off and started beating the hell out of dude. Anyway, Cam, they're going for 30 seconds. And there's a clip for 2 seconds after they stop fighting. If you're sucking for air like that after fighting a guy that looks like me and Cam, what are you going to do with a real fighter, a professional fighter like Bobby Knuckles that has beat everybody outside of Israel Adesanya and Drake Duplessis? I mean, I don't know. I'm not a Chimaev guy at all. Ever since, people were worshiping the ground he walked, and then, he fought at 170. He fought Gilbert Burns, and obviously, Gilbert Burns showed this guy doesn't walk on water. And I think Gilbert Burns, Robert Whitaker are 2 different weight classes, but I don't think you can compare the 2. It's like Gilbert Burns is like the Durham Bulls and Robert Whitaker is like the New York Yankees. There's different levels. So I'm excited, Cam.
I am too. This is going to be a fun card.
So we're 2-2 together so far.
Yeah. Well, we've got Ankalaev going against Rakic, a old school Russian showdown here in Abu Dhabi. Ankalaev is a minus 380 favorite. Word, I'm going to be honest, haven't got a lot of time watching these guys. So I'm going to go with the favorite here. They're the worst of 2 enemies is Rakic, it feels like. So let's go Ankalaev.
I'm going to assume that Rakic is not an American.
No, he's not.
Ankalaev isn't either, but I guess I'll go Ankalaev.
Yeah. So I guess
I'll disagree with you, Cam. I'll go Rakic.
Okay. Well, I was going to say we could do a Fat Cats parlay where we had the two dogs and the one.
We'll make it interesting. We'll do I'll go the opposite of you. Whichever one you want, I'll take the opposite.
Little rubber match to end it off here.
Yeah.
You were talking about the Yankees and the Durham Bulls. We do have the Dodgers Yankees World Series.
Yes.
I think thoughts going into this series. I know you're more of a baseball guy than I.
Yeah, Cam, it's like these are the 2 biggest teams in baseball. In the ALS and the NLS, these are the 2. I think I said, is it NLS? Yeah, National League. Or no, the NLS, the NL and the AL. These are the 2. These are the 2 big teams. This is the Celtics Lakers. This is the, I don't know, Cowboys Steelers. Maybe. I guess you could throw NFC. I know you can't really do it with the NFL, but these are the 2 big teams in the MLB. They both have the largest fan bases. Both teams are very good as well. The Yankees started out playing like shit, but they're playing good now. So I don't know. I'm never going to pull for a New York team. So I go Dodgers, I guess.
Yeah, but when you talk about the biggest stars in the sport all coming together on one stage.
Shohei, Aaron Judge.
Juan Soto. I mean, this is going to be a star-studded.
Hey, name 3 players on the Dodgers, Cam.
Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani, and Walker Buehler.
Hey, Mookie Betts, man, don't forget him.
Yeah, that guy. I forgot about him.
I probably couldn't name. Let me try. I'm gonna put myself on the spot. 3 players on the Yankees: Aaron Judge, Garrett Cole. Rizzo, Anthony Rizzo. Anthony Rizzo.
You know why I can name so many Yankees is because if you've seen the TikTok videos, there's that guy in the stands and he does the roll call.
Yeah.
He goes, hey, Aaron Judge.
Hey.
That's hilarious. Jazz Chisholm, they got Jazz Chisholm from the Marlins. I think that's all I got. I do want to shout out our boy Teoscar Hernandez. I think maybe
De La Hoya.
Dodgers. But anyway, that's the extent of our. I do want to say I feel like we got robbed of the Subway Series with the Mets Yankees World Series would have been electric.
Yeah.
Ward, moving on to basketball. JJ Redick getting his coaching debut. Bronny James getting his NBA debut. Did you get to watch it and have any thoughts?
I was watching London Has Fallen last night, so I didn't watch this.
We get banged. We get the bang job with the NBA because I mean they're going for the West Coast. A 10:15 tip p.m. Eastern is not in my bag anymore.
No, and they call me a bad guy too, but right now I am fully on football mode until the beginning of 2025. I might watch Christmas Day basketball, but not much, to be honest with you.
Well, Colby G is a Lakers fan. He was very excited about JJ Redick. He said it's nice to have a coach that actually coaches and doesn't just stand there in his pockets. The Celtics, after the ring ceremony award, tied the record for most threes in the game. I think they shot 63.
Wow, really?
So Celtics come out, put a whooping on the Nova Knicks, minus Dante DiVincenzo, obviously. Cat did not look good for the Knicks. So Celtics look awesome already. We talked about Deshaun Watson. Is there anything else you have to say on Deshaun Watson?
I think that's all. It's sad, you know.
Yeah, bad guy, but you never wish for an injury like that on a guy.
I know.
I will say, it did look, and you heard reports that he was just looking for a way out.
No shot. Not like that. I can tell you.
Not like that, but there's
I
your
think
way
that I honestly think they were benching him anyway.
Yeah.
To be 100% truthful with you, I do think they were benching him. But why? My question is, why the hell did they not go Jameis Winston?
So
I know he was the third string emergency backup. Apparently, him and Stefanski don't get along, from what I heard.
So the word on the street, I don't know if this is true. The ownership was getting upset that Jameis was getting, chance to go in and all that stuff.
Oh, makes sense.
So
I will say that's why Washington got rid of Sam Howell.
Yeah.
And that's why they got rid of Taylor Heineke. You cannot have a quarterback, it's going to be, dude, I'm telling you, as soon as Russell Wilson starts playing bad.
We already saw that. We already saw that in the first quarter. He's getting booed off the field.
You're kidding.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it sounded like, ownership wanted to stick with Deshaun.
Yeah.
They elevated DTR to QB2, put Jameis as QB3.
Yep.
But all that's by the wayside now. J-Mo.
Yep.
Future Hall of Famer Jameis Winston is now the starting quarterback for the team. D-Hop to the Chiefs, we covered a little bit.
Yeah.
What does this mean for the Chiefs? And obviously, I made a joke, but DeAndre Hopkins has to be the happiest man in America right now.
Yeah. Do you think DeAndre Hopkins still has the it factor that he used to have, though?
Not that he used to.
We haven't seen it since COVID. It's the year after COVID.
But I still think he's a very good receiver.
I do too. But you got to think, where did Julio first go? Yeah, it was remember when Julio Jones went and paired with Tom Brady and everybody was like, this is the next big thing. I remember I drafted him the third round in fantasy thinking I found the gem of the draft. And I don't know, man. I mean, it's just, I feel like not only culture, but I feel like, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't find the word that I'm looking for, but I don't know, man. I think it's going to click, but you got to think what receiver has come to Kansas City and clicked.
Yeah,
they haven't brought anybody in that's clicked. It's everybody there is homegrown. I feel either that or Andy Reid has a really tough playbook to learn. I don't know, but
yeah, I think he's a good player. I think you will look, he's the best. He's the most talented receiver on the roster now. I mean, when you walk into a wide receiver room.
Hey, you can't disrespect Pittsburgh Juju.
Well, that's what I was about to say. You walk into a room with Juju and Sky Moore as your wide receiver 2 and 3. It's not going to be hard.
Yeah, valid point.
More of the trade deadline next week.
Trade deadline. I was excited to discuss this.
We got a lot of players that are apparently on the block.
Yep.
Any guys that you want to talk about, before I get into some of
them? Oh, God. No, yeah, give me the mic. But no, man, Ken. So the way I was imagining this discussion is I want me and you to go through some guys that we've heard on the block, and I want you to think of some teams they could go to. I know off the top of my head, T. Higgins is on the block. Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp's probably the most publicized on the block. A lot of people are saying Max Crosby is on the block. Myles Garrett I've seen is on the block. Who else did I saw? There was another big name that I saw. Cam, you know better.
Deontay Johnson on the
Deontay
block.
Johnson.
Bryce Young, if that's a big name to you.
Hey, it is a big name, former Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah, so a lot of players. I would be surprised if Max Crosby is not a Raider.
Yeah,
JC,
but
another
I don't know
guy.
if there is one player that you can see the Steelers getting. Who is it?
One of Cooper Kupp or Mike Williams.
Mike Williams. Interesting.
Yeah, so
Oh,
Mike Williams had a visit scheduled before with the Steelers before he signed with the Jets. So
interesting.
he's gonna have a smaller price tag than Kupp. Kupp, I think the Rams are asking for a second rounder, and they'll eat some of the salary. Reports are that the Steelers it's a little bit too rich for their blood. I think Omar's offering a third rounder for him, which Omar Khan is the LeBron James of being interested in trading for receivers.
Interesting.
Deals never seem to come to fruition, but he's always in the talks. You got Cooper Kupp. He's 31. He's injury prone, large price tag, but Van Jefferson is your wide receiver too, man. We got to get somebody.
But the thing is about Cooper Kupp is, man, he's 31 years old and he hasn't played a full season in 3 out of the last 4 years.
Yeah.
So, but he is a very good wide receiver, and he is a proven wide receiver. Cam, if I could say,
these guys are on the block for a reason. Whether it's contract or injury concerns, or they're old.
Valid point.
Nobody's trading Justin Jefferson. Nobody's trading a Jamar Chase. Nobody's trading a CeeDee Lamb. If you're going to trade for a guy, there's going to be a reason these guys are on the block.
Yeah, valid point. So there's 2 players that are being linked to Washington right now. People are throwing Myles Garrett's name out there. Browns aren't getting rid of Myles Garrett. But the 2 names that are getting linked to Washington, I really hope one out of the 2 happens. And the one out of the 2 that I really want to happen is a man that plays in Cincinnati by the name of T. Higgins. T. Higgins is on the trade block. He's 28 years old, 27, not even. He's our age. Maybe a year older than us. One thing about Washington that we have that a lot of teams don't have right now is we have almost close to $122 million in cap space. Cam, we're gonna be able to pay somebody. So T. Higgins is getting linked to us. Not sure if he comes to us. Also, there's a lot of Max Crosby talk. I don't believe the Max Crosby stuff. Another guy that he plays on the Browns right now, their defensive end, you'll remember his name. He wore 99 in Minnesota.
Darius Smith.
Yes, he's another one that's on the trade block right now that a lot of people are linking, but he's also like 32, 33 years old. So, Cam, we can sit here and talk what ifs and if, ands, and buts until next Wednesday at noon or whenever it is. I just think we'll next week we'll go in full trade, but.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. I'll believe it when I see the territory on all these names.
Yep.
A team that will be looking for a receiver around the deadline is the Buccaneers.
Yes.
We saw Mike Evans go down.
Hey, Cam, maybe I'm tripping, but I might need you to come closer. I can't hear you very well.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you.
Okay. We saw Mike Evans go down for the Bucs. Chris Godwin looks like his season's done. So they will be active around the deadline, I'm sure. But Ward, did we see Chris Godwin's last NFL game, do you think?
I think we did.
Really?
Maybe I take that back. Maybe it's not his last NFL game. I do think we possibly saw his last game with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, though. His contract's coming up to an end. He took a pretty gruesome injury. He's 32 years old. You hate to see something happen like this, but he even came out and said, a lot of the cameras were on him. He said, "This is it for me." After his injury, it's hard to come back from injury like this. Did they rule what it was yet or not?
I didn't see what it is, but I did see the video you're talking about. There's 2 different lip syncs that people were saying that he said.
With AI these days, you never know what the hell he actually said. But
so one group said that he said, "This is the end of the career" or something like that.
Interesting.
The other one is back to work.
Oh, okay. I think those are 2 completely different things. I don't know how you mount.
So whatever it is, I don't know.
That's like the purple. Remember that one thing where you see a picture and it's a purple dress or the blue dress? You remember that? I guess it's like that, Cam. You never know. But
what we need, if you remember that old YouTube account that used to just say, gibberish over top of NFL interviews. We need that account to come
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, man, I don't know. We'll see. I hope he gets okay. I hope his recovery goes well. But yeah. Cam, I think it's long overdue, man. We had a hell of a weekend in college football.
Very good. This was a
Hell of a
great
weekend in college football. Let's go ahead and start out. Let's start out in your homeland, Cam, in the SEC, down in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
The Sick'em Bulldogs came down to the Horns Up Jayhawks, the Horns Up
Longhorns.
Longhorns. Sorry, I had yeah, but came to Austin, beat the hell out of them.
Yeah.
How you feeling, Cam?
That was a very fun game to watch. First of all, I want to say, Sark, you pull at Ewers. What a position to put Manning in. Like, he's played against Southern Miss and Mississippi State, and then you look at him, you go, "Oh, we're down 20 to Georgia. Ewers hasn't had a second to blink the whole time. Go in and see what you can
Yeah,
do."
what was the reasoning behind that?
He said that he thought the team needed a spark and Ewers needed some time to watch the game from the sideline.
Interesting. Because I'm not going to lie, Cam, I did not get to watch that game in the greatest detail that I wanted to.
Yeah, that's all right. I will say that
I did. I watched it, but I didn't get to watch it. I was at a bar watching it, so I didn't get to watch it with the volume. I saw Manning came in. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And then I see Ewers come back, and I thought Ewers got hurt for a second. But
so the one takeaway I have from this game is what a terrible precedent this referee staff has put on college.
yeah,
So if you didn't watch, I think it was the third quarter, Georgia throws a pick six to Texas, but a flag gets thrown during the play. They called it defensive pass interference. Was not defensive pass interference whatsoever. But the referee comes on the loudspeaker. He calls it pass interference. Dead in the right. All right, pass interference, I guess.
yeah.
Texas students get pissed off, as they should, and they pull a Tennessee and they start throwing
shit on the field.
Start throwing stuff on the field. Okay, cool. Like, it happens. This is the biggest game Texas played in years.
Yeah.
In that stadium. So I get it. Not really, but I guess you get it. Drunk college students, what else do you expect? Get the field cleaned up, and next thing you know, the white hat comes out and says, after discussion, there is no defensive pass or defensive pass. What a terrible precedent you set.
Yeah.
Now you're telling every fan base in the SEC, if you don't like a call, throw stuff on the field and we'll overturn it.
Yeah. My question is, Cam, is, completely off topic. And I understand Georgia's lost one football game to an Alabama team. Alabama, the name speaks for itself. There's not one person, not one analyst, not one, former player. Nobody picked Georgia to win this football game. Yeah. People just really wrote Georgia off. I don't know, man. I feel like there's three teams in college football you don't write off. Alabama, Georgia, maybe Ohio State. You can throw them in there. You don't really write off Ohio State either. There's teams that you just, I don't know, man. You don't bet against, if that makes sense. And I don't know.
I get it.
New era football, I guess. But yeah.
No, I agree with you. And that was my biggest takeaway, though, the refs.
The refs, too. I mean, my biggest takeaway was how good Georgia's defense looked. I don't know, Cam, I watched a lot of, one thing I did pay attention to. I always watch from a linebacker's point of view when I watch football games. And some of the stunts that Georgia was running, I have never seen before. They were running so many delayed linebacker and like DB blitzes where they come up, they were reading Quinn Ewers' snap count. And what they would do is, right before he was going to clap, your two guys wind up in a B gap, roll over to a C gap, boom, linebacker delayed blitz. Next thing you know, you have seven guys. Your whole front seven is coming up the middle, and your offensive lineman, you have three guys running at you. You're like, what do I do? That was just as magically drawn up from Kirby Smart and from Georgia's DC as it could have gotten. But that was what I thought took the majority of that football game was the guys up front and some of the blitz packages they ran, just how they were able to disrupt the Texas offense.
Yeah, well, me and Novak were watching it together, and we were talking on that fourth down. Texas has to get a touchdown to make it a game. And you look pre-snap, and it just looks like a cover two shell.
Exactly.
Yeah, cover two shell. It looks like 4 guys are coming, and right before the snap, like you said, the two guys in the A gap move to the B gap, and the 2 backers come. And you're like, if you're Quinn Ewers, like, you are pooping in your britches right now. You just went from a 4-guy rush to an unblocked 6 guy. You got to get your hot route out. And those guys were killing him. They were beating his brains in all night.
Yeah.
So, shout out to the Georgia DC. I will say, Carson Beck is so lucky Georgia won this football game.
I know.
He was awful.
I know. He looked awful against Alabama too, dude. I don't think Carson Beck's as good as everybody thinks he is.
He's not. And you look, and I promise you, I've said this since last year. If you gave Kirby Smart truth serum and said, would you rather have Carson Beck or Stetson Bennett as your quarterback of this football team, he would take Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett is a better quarterback than Carson Beck.
Yeah.
And Carson Beck is getting first-round projections in the NFL draft. I don't see it.
Unpopular take, though, or this might be an unpopular take. I don't know. I think there's 3, maybe 4 teams in the SEC that beats Oregon. Unpopular opinion, possibly. I think Georgia beats Oregon. I think Texas beats Oregon. I think Alabama, the way they played lately, man, I don't know.
You know who nobody's talking about in the SEC right now? A&M. A&M has
A&M's good.
They've
and the thing is, dude, is A&M plays who do they play this weekend? They play somebody. They play LSU this weekend, and they are 2.5-point favorite.
Yes, you're correct.
A&M is. But yeah, A&M's a team too. But yeah, I think right now, Georgia, Alabama, I'm not gonna say Tennessee. I just don't know. I think if Alabama and Tennessee both play Oregon, I think Oregon wins one of those games, and I think they beat Tennessee over Alabama.
Yeah. Speaking of Tennessee and Bama, Tennessee for the second time in 3 seasons,
and
taking down this Crimson Tide.
I'm saying this.
But yeah, man, this was quite the game. Jalen Milroe did not look great in this game. I don't think Nico looked great in this game either. This was not what many people thought. This was a defensive matchup. I think we win the half 7-0 Alabama, and Tennessee comes back and wins the football game.
Yeah.
Ward, what were your thoughts on this game? And, anybody stick out?
I think that Jalen Milroe had made some crucial mistakes down the line. Other than all, I think both defenses looked pretty good. That Nico guy from Tennessee, he's only a freshman. He's good. He's good though. He's a good quarterback, and I think Tennessee has a chance to be a problem here in the near future. But no, I mean, I thought Alabama's front 7 looked pretty good for the most part. It just seemed like, when it came down to it, fourth quarter, they couldn't get a stop, is the way I look at it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I know you hate Tennessee. I've always kind of liked Tennessee. I don't not like Alabama, but I don't like Alabama, but I don't know.
Yeah, the Tennessee defense is legit, man. They've got championship level defense. I said it last week, and I still believe it. And when you talk about Alabama, you said it best. When it comes down to the fourth quarter and they need to stop, they didn't get it.
No. And the thing is, they did a stat the other day. There has been one 2-loss team, or there's been one 2-loss team in the last 20 years. One 2-loss Alabama team before Halloween in the last 20 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it happens the first year Saban leaves.
Yeah. But Alabama, man, they got a lot to figure out.
I do.
Ward, you already talked about state, Cal. Is there anything else you'd like to go over?
Yeah, I wanted to say, I want me and you to both talk about, I want to give a report card. It's mid-season. We got another month left of football, month and a half left of football. How I am feeling about NC State personally. We didn't start strong. We dropped a few bad games where now we've won one ACC game. We're 1-2 in the ACC. We have a chance to finish strong, though. We have a good stretch of conference down the line. We have a bye this week. Then we play Stanford. Stanford's a beatable team. Then we play Duke. Then we play, I want to say, Boston College. And then we play and then we play Carolina. We can win these next four. I think this is not looked at as a bad season if we went out from here. Because I think California was like 6.5-point, 7-point favorites on us. And we went on.
They closed as 10-point favorites.
That's insane. That's insane. But, you look at this state team, our star quarterback, we're playing with our backup quarterback right now. Our star quarterback, I know you saw that hit, Cam. We didn't talk about that. I was at that game. not good. Grayson McCall, done. But yeah, I mean, we're developing our our freshman quarterback, CJ Bailey. So a lot of things have not gone in our direction. But, it's we need to win out for it to be a successful season.
Yeah. Well, A to F, what would you give them?
A to F right now, they're at a D plus. For the expectations that this team was given, they're at a C minus, maybe D plus. I don't even say C minus. They're at a D plus. Yeah. Thanks for asking that. But they're at a 69 right now, Cam. They're very close to a C, but they're not there.
So Kentucky, we'll talk about it. Let me preface this by saying I've officially deemed Kentucky football dead this season. So the Wildcat basketball team tips off tonight against Kentucky Wesleyan. It's college basketball season, folks. Ward, you come off what is probably the biggest or the second biggest win of the Stoops era, going to Oxford and beating Ole Miss. You have a bye week. You come out of a bye. You've been historically bad as Mark Stoops coming out of a bye week. Vandy comes to town. You lose. You get beat pretty handedly by Vandy. Then you go to a dead man walking in the swamp. Billy Napier might as well be fired already.
Yeah.
You lose to a freshman quarterback.
Yeah, that's not good, Cam.
A freshman quarterback, by the way, Ward, who completed 9 passes in that football game and had over 300 yards passing. So this team is so disappointing to me. Like, you look, Mark Stoops built this program on beating South Carolina, beating Vandy, and beating Florida. And they got dog walked by all 3 this season.
Yeah.
And they've lost 3 out of the last 4 to Vandy, by the way. Bad season all around. I'm very tempted to give this season an F at this point. I'm going to put it up to a D minus because you beat Ole Miss. But to follow up Ole Miss with a loss to Vandy and loss to Florida is inexcusable. And you look at the schedule, you got Auburn coming to town this week, who's the worst team in the SEC.
Which is crazy to think about, right?
You better win that football game if you want any hope. You got Murray State. That's a win. Then you travel to Texas, you travel to Knoxville, and you travel to Louisville. I've watched this team. I don't think we're winning any of those games.
Yeah.
And Louisville has been a shoo-in. That's like an FCS game for the past few years.
Yeah. Did y'all beat Louisville last year, did you?
Huh?
Did y'all beat Louisville last year?
Yeah, they've beat Louisville for the past 8 years.
Wow.
So I'd love to cap it off, but you look, this is a 3-win ball club. You got 2 wins left. Auburn could very well come to Lexington and beat this team.
Yeah.
If this team goes 4-8, it's going to be scary hours to be Mark Stoops in Lexington. And he's not going to get fired because you can't afford a $44 million buyout.
Yeah.
So we're stuck.
He took that A&M job and y'all paid his ass, man.
Dude, it's ridiculous. And I've talked about this a few times. The comedy of errors of an offseason. You leave for A&M and they tell you to kick rocks. He took the job at A&M and the booster said no.
Yeah.
You get the 2021 season vacated. I mean, he's just had a terrible offseason. So, anyways, Kentucky football dead. Ward, let's talk Heisman real quick, and then we'll move on to the NFL, man.
Yeah. I was about to make a joke about the 2021 season and the NC State game, but I didn't. I know it wasn't 2021, but
2027 season still stands. Ashton Jeanty, Boise State running back, Travis Hunter, Colorado wide receiver DB. To me, it's a 2-horse Heisman race with
You got to think. I think Cam Ward is the second favorite right now. You got to throw him in there, correct?
Okay. I thought he was third behind these 3, but
is he okay? I could be wrong.
But Ashton Jeanty has had an incredible season. I think he's the front runner.
I do too. If you're averaging 10 yards a carry in college football, brother, yeah.
I do think Travis Hunter is the best player in college football. When you see a guy who's one of the best receivers and probably the best cornerback.
You think Travis Hunter gets top 5?
Absolutely.
You think? Top 3?
I think he goes top 3. I think he might be the first pick.
You think? Who is the mock? What is the mock draft right now? Who's projected 1? It has to be a quarterback, right?
I think him to the Patriots because the Patriots have the number 1 pick.
They already have a quarterback, yeah. Oh no, the way it's looking for the Raiders, brother. They might get that first pick. Actually, I take that back. The Panthers are getting the first pick. They are the worst football team I have ever seen. They are so damn bad, Cam. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
They're a bad football team. That's all I was going to say. Bad organization. We'll move on to our Week 7 recap, and then we're going to have to kind of fly through our predictions.
Yeah, let's fly through these.
Steelers beat the Jets. I don't really need to say anything. Russ looked awesome outside of the first quarter. Like I said, he did get booed off the field in the first quarter.
Which is crazy to think about. Hey, I got something to say about that. Cam, I know I sent this to you. Wolfpack looked good, brother. Peyton Wilson led the team in tackles. NC State third-round pick, rookie. From a pack of Badgers, Mr. Russell Wilson comes in, lights up the scoreboard. Was it 37 points, Cam?
Yep.
When's the last time the Steelers have put up 37 points?
Long time ago.
It's been a while. The pack of Badgers came in, baby. But yeah, so shout out to the Wolfpack, Pack Pros showing up in that game.
We're talking about your Commanders, man. 5-2. Did you ever imagine you guys would be 5-2?
Hell has froze over. The Washington Redskins football team Commanders are 5-2, baby. 5-2. This shows, Cam, I don't have much to say about it. This shows what, for any team out there that sucks right now, we've sucked my whole life. I've never had anything to look forward to. This shows what a good ownership group and what a good quarterback can do for a football program. We have not gotten any better, Cam, than last year. We have more talent on offense last year than we do this year. If you put a quarterback in a system and have him grow, the sky is the limit, dude. Sky is the limit. So we are 5-2. We play the Bears this weekend. The Bears are a good football team. We're beating – the thing is, we're not beating good teams. We're not beating high-quality teams, but we're beating bad teams bad, which we've never done before. We always beat bad teams by 3 points. We have the highest point differential in the NFL right now through, I think it's the 8th week now. And we're just beating bad teams the way we should. So very happy about it. I can go on for an hour about this. I'm going to shut up. But yeah.
Yeah, man. We need to put that on a t-shirt, by the way. When you put a quarterback in a system, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, when you let a good quarterback develop in a system, the sky is the limit.
I like that. Let's move on to our Week 9 college football predictions. We got Bama going to Missouri. Bama's 14-point favorites. Ward, who you
Give
got?
me Bama.
Bama covered?
No.
Okay. I think Bama covers. I think this Mizzou team is bad.
Yeah.
Texas off a loss gets Vandy. They go to Nashville. I will
go on Vandy covering. Texas win. Vandy covers.
I will say there will be more Texas fans than Vanderbilt fans in the stadium. Give me Texas.
I don't know, dude. I disagree with that, actually, Cam. When's the last time Vanderbilt football's been ranked? Nashville is – everybody in Nashville is going to have that black shirt on, brother.
Nah, I believe when I see it. I know the Vandy. I live there, Ward. I've seen the Vandy.
You did live there. But you didn't live there with Vandy.
Texas 18. Actually, I did. They won 8 games when I was there. I did see them.
Okay.
Texas 18.5-point favorites. I've got Texas winning and covering in Nashville. I think the Vandy magic is going to die down here.
Yeah.
Number 8 LSU travels to College Station to take on the Aggies. A&M, like Ward said, 2.5-point favorites. Give me the Aggies to stay undefeated in SEC play, and I think they cover the 2.5.
Cam, the Aggies go down the train here, brother. Give me the former Les Miles and give me the former Les Miles Tigers coming into town.
Yeah,
hey, I didn't tell you I'm going to New Orleans, by the way, in December, second week.
Sweet. My favorite matchup of the week here, Ward. Notre Dame gets Navy. Notre Dame is 12-point favorites. Navy playing this game to stay undefeated. I need an Army-Navy undefeated matchup at the end of the year. So give me Navy outright.
Give me Navy covering. Give me Notre Dame money line. But hey, Cam, I got to run, brother.
All right, man. Hey, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I'll get it.
Hey, if you made it this far, Cam owes you a beer. Peace.